is Asha. Welcome back to Reading with Toby. Today I am super excited to bring you all this video. Today we're going to be talking about my most anticipated reads for 2025. I got 25 books that I'm super excited about, and I thought this would be a fun video, super casual, chill. We're just gonna be sitting here. I do have a glass of wine, so grab yourself something and let's chat about some books that are coming out next year. I did organize this into 3 different categories. The first category is going to be books by authors that I have already read from, so I'm familiar with their work and I'm super excited to see what else they are coming out with. The next category is going to be authors that I have heard of and have been interested in, but I've never read anything from them. And then the last category is going to be new to me authors. I've never heard of these authors. These could be debut authors, I have no idea, but something about the title or the premise, the plot of the book really caught my attention, so I am still super excited about them. So yes, I do have my laptop here with all of the books, so I am going to be, put this pillow here to help me. I am going to be looking down at it, but I hope you guys are excited. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and do the first category, which is going to be authors that I have read from before. So the first one is, of course, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. I've read a couple books by him. I was kind of disappointed in his last one, which was How to Sell a Haunted House. I don't really know what it's about, but the cover is amazing and the title is intriguing, so I'm super interested in this book. Just realized I have music playing on my TV, so I should pause that. This one comes out, this one comes out at the very beginning of January 14th, so that's exciting. The next book is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is of course the author of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I absolutely loved. Daisy Jones and the Six, which I actually wasn't that big of a fan of, but she has this one coming out called Atmosphere, and I have to say I haven't been too interested in any of her other books recently. Like, I didn't read the tennis one. I didn't read Malibu Rising. I don't know, they just didn't seem that interesting, but this one is about astronauts, space, NASA, and if you know me, you know that like those are some of my buzzwords. NASA, space, astronauts. I will absolutely want to read it, and I feel like it will be interesting with Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm sure it's going to be great. What do you guys think about this cover? I actually don't really like it. I have to say, I'm not really the biggest fan of it. Oh, this one's kind of interesting. I'll put this one here too, but I'm still not the biggest fan of either of these two covers. Okay, next one we have The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong. I read On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and I thought I think I gave it like 3.5 stars or 4. I did think the writing was beautiful, but I thought the plot kind of got lost towards the end. But I am still very interested in reading this book by him because he's an incredible writer. So this one says, Ocean Vuong returns with a big-hearted novel about chosen family, unexpected friendship, and the stories we tell ourselves in order to survive. So I'm definitely curious about this one. This one comes out May 13th. I didn't tell you, Atmosphere comes out, June 3rd, which I feel like is a perfect summer release. So there are those. Okay, the next one is one that we all know about. This is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. Super excited about this one. Of course, I loved Babel. I haven't read anything else from her, I have to say though. So I'm super excited about this one. Catabasis, noun, ancient Greek. The story of a hero's descent to the underworld. 2 academic rivals from Cambridge must travel to hell to rescue the soul of their advisor. Getting there was easy. Surviving it, on the other hand, is another thing entirely. Like, you know this is going to be incredible, and I cannot wait to see the cover. I'm so excited to see the cover. I bet my prediction is going to be similar to Babel. Like, I think it's going to have the same kind of vibes, so that the same readers of Babel will want to read this book even though it's the same author. That's what I'm feeling, but who knows? I'm really curious about this cover. This one comes out August 28th. Okay, the next one is Stephen Graham Jones. He has a new book coming out called The Buffalo Hunter Hunter. This comes out in March 18th, and I read The Only Good Indians by him. Okay, I rearranged the camera. I think that's a little bit better. Okay, so we were talking about Stephen Graham Jones's new book coming out called The Buffalo Hunter Hunter. I read The Only Good Indians by him. My favorite horror book of all time. I desperately want to read more Stephen Graham Jones. I am hoping to read another one by him before the year ends, but this one comes out March 18th. A historical novel set in the American West in 1912 following a Lutheran priest who transcribes the life of a vampire. There's vampires? The life of a vampire who haunts the fields of Blackfeet Reservation looking for justice. Oh my gosh, another revenge story that was kind of a little bit of The Only Good Indians. Okay, this is going to be great. Super excited about this. I didn't realize it was a vampire story. It's gonna be so good. Okay, 448 pages. That's a long book, but yeah, super excited about that. Okay, the next one, I'm not too 100% sure that I'm like fully invested in reading this book. It is Immaculate Conception by Ling Lang Wang. I wrote Natural Beauty, which I read in October, and I liked it. Like, I love the ideas, the writing. I just thought it felt like a debut novel. So I am interested in seeing what her next work, you know, I'm sure she will improve in the next book, so I am kind of curious about it, but I don't know. This is probably one that I'll wait to see what people think, although everyone loved Natural Beauty and I didn't absolutely love it. But anyways, this says it's set in a fiercely competitive art world, a novel about an obsessive friendship upended by a cutting-edge technology purported to enhance empathy and connection, which sounds very interesting, like an interesting idea. So we'll see. This comes out in May. This one, I'm not too sure. So this is The Library of Hellebore by Cassandra Khaw. And the only reason I'm intrigued because it's dark academia, which is like one of my buzzwords. Dark academia, or any kind of academia setting. It could just be set at a college, university, boarding school, following a professor, following students. Like, all that is another one of my favorite things to read, which you're going to see on this list. The Hellebore Technical Institute for the Gifted is the premier academy for the dangerously, the Antichrist, and Ragnaroks, the World Eaters and Apocalypse Makers. On graduation day, the faculty go on a ravenous rampage, feasting on Alyssa's class. Only Alyssa and a group of her classmates escape the carnage. Trapped in the school's library, they must offer a human sacrifice every night, or else the faculty will break down the door and kill everyone. Like, that just sounds like a good time. Sounds really weird. The reason why I'm like hesitant is because I read, what was the name of that book? Nothing But Blackened Teeth, and I like actively hated that book. I did not like that book at all, but I still am curious and I'm willing to give this a try because it's dark academia. So I'm definitely willing to give it a try. I'm super excited about this one, and this comes out July 25th. So this is probably my most anticipated release of 2025, and that is The Unworthy by Augustina Bastarrica, the author of Tender is the Flesh. That is also probably one of my favorite horror books. I love that book so much. Literary horror, incredible. So this is her newest release. It's translated by Sarah Moses. This comes out March 25th. I'm so excited. I love this cover. It's a thrilling work of literary horror about a woman cloistered in a secretive, violent religious order while outside the world has fallen into chaos. I'm so excited. How long is this book? Oh, this one's also short, 190 pages. Because I was just thinking I would love to spend like hundreds and hundreds of pages with Augustina Bastarrica's writing. But it's only 192 pages, but I still think it's gonna be incredible because Tender is the Flesh was super short but super powerful. So I'm so excited about this. Oh my goodness. Okay, this book I have is a Victoria E. Schwab book that comes out June. Oh, a lot of books coming out this summer. So this is Bury Our Bones in the Middle of the Night, which I do love that title. I am a fan of this cover. She just posted about the new cover and how this is like a very personal book for her. So I'm excited. I did not realize that it was about vampires. Super excited. It says 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, one grows deep, and one grows wild. All of them grow teeth. That sounds pretty good. I've read obviously a few books by Victoria E. Schwab. I've read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I loved. I think I read The Archived, which I really enjoyed. I read the first book, A Darker Shade of Magic. I kind of like that one. I haven't really read anything else from her. I don't know why, but this one I'm definitely interested in. So let's move on to the next category, which is going to be authors that I have heard of, authors that I have been interested in the past, but I've never actually read anything from them, but they have new releases coming out next year. So the first one is called Fox by Joyce Carol Oates. This is a obviously a very famous author that I have heard of, and this book sounds so good because, again, it has that academia setting that I just know I love in my books. This also comes out in June. Oh my gosh, so many great releases this summer. So this says it's a sensational novel of drama, psychological suspense about the dark secrets that surface following the shocking disappearance of a charismatic mercurial boarding school teacher. When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy, a horror book. I really like this cover. I am like so upset with myself that I have not yet read a Nat Cassidy, because Mary is on my shelves, and I have been wanting to read that book forever. I think I'm gonna love it. He has like a few books out by now. This one sounds really great. This comes out in April. You're following this lady named Jess. She comes home to find this 5-year-old boy hiding in the bushes because he ran away from his home, and they find themselves running for their lives. As they attempt to evade the boy's increasingly desperate father, horrifying incidents of butchery follow them. At first, Jess thinks she understands what they're up against, but she's about to learn there's more to these surreal and grisly events than she could ever imagine, and that when the wolf finally comes home, none will be spared. That sounds so good. Yes, I am super excited about this one. Next, we have Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. So yes, I have yet to read an Olivia Blake. I am interested in a few of her books, like the Atlas 6. What's that one about? In the Ether or something about that? I don't know. But I am interested in her, and this one sounds really good. What do you guys think about this cover? I like it, but also like don't really like it because it looks like it's real people. This is a story of 3 siblings who, upon the death of their father, are forced to reckon with their long festering rivalries, dangerous abilities, and the crushing weight of all their unrealized adolescent potential. I don't know, that just sounds good. And it's actually an adult novel. For some reason, there's something about this that interests me. So this comes out in April. Like so many books, April, June, July, that's gonna be the time next year. Next one is The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. What do you think about this cover? I like it because it definitely is like eye-grabbing, but then when you really take a look at it, it's like really disturbing. Okay, so Caitlin Starling, she wrote The Death of Jane Lawrence, which I do have on my bookshelves, but I have yet to read. It's a transfixing, intensely atmospheric fever dream of medieval horror. Like that right there is all I needed to know, so that's all you need to know too. Super excited about this. This also comes out in May 20th. Okay, last book for authors that I have heard of but not have read, but have yet to read from, is Air by John Boyle. Oh my gosh, I just realized that this says The Elements #4. I have been wanting to read from John Boyne before. This is a novella apparently. I'll have to look into this if you actually have to read this full series, because from what I'm seeing, you don't have to. But it says a contemplative story about one man trying to move forward from the trauma of his youth to become a better father to his son, which sounds very John Boyne. So last category is a new to me authors. Never heard of these authors. I am super excited for like all the books in this category. They sound so great. Okay, so let's get started. The first one I keep seeing around, people are getting arcs of it and everyone's saying it's so good. It's already been adopted into, or it's already going to be made into a movie. It's called Victorian Psycho. I can't decide which cover I want to buy. There's this cover and there's this cover. Which one do you all prefer? Like I love books with bright neon colors, but the other one is also really intriguing. Like I really don't know which one I prefer. But this comes out February 25th. This is about a governess who goes on a killing spree. Listen to this. Whether creeping across the moonlit lawns in her undergarments or gently gently tormenting the house staff, Winifred struggles at every turn to stifle the horrid compulsions of her past. When her chillingly dark imagination breaches the feeble boundary of reality on a Christmas morning, Winifred is finally ready to deliver on her generous gifts. I think this is going to be so good. I'm super excited for this one. Next one is another vampire book. This is Hungerstone by Kat Dune. Again, this like neon color. I love it. This comes out also in February, so soon. All I saw about this is that it is a thrillingly seductive sapphic romance for fans of A Dowry of Blood against the violent wilderness of the Moors and the uncontrolled appetite of the Industrial Revolution. Hungerstone is a compulsive feminist reworking of Carmilla. She sounds so good, and gothic and vampires. Like, I'm down. Next one is Death Takes Me by Cristina Rivera Garza. This is translated from Spanish by Robin Myers and Sarah Brooker. This one sounds so good. I know I keep saying that about all of them, but this one comes out in February, and this one is a dreamlike, genre-defying novel about a professor and a detective seeking justice in a world suffused with gendered violence. A literary fiction that flips the traditional crime narrative on its head in a world where death is rampant and violence is gendered. This does not sound like like a book that I will absolutely love. I may need to pre-order this one. This one just sounds so good. I really think I'm gonna love this book. How long is it? Oh, only 320 pages. I think this is a 5-star prediction. Next, okay, this one I also have seen everywhere on my Instagram and things. People have been reading it. People are super excited about it. It's another horror book, and this is The Lamb by Lucy Rose. This one also has 2 pretty good covers. There's this one, and then there is this one. Which one do you all prefer? Like, I really don't know. I kind of like both, but I think I like the one with the picture, maybe. The gothic coming of age debut novel explores how women swallow their anger, desire, and animal instincts, and rings the relationships between mother and daughter until blood drips from it. What a blurb. Like, that is incredible. Yeah, this is another one that I just think I'm gonna love. Like, I know I'm gonna love it. This one comes out in January, so soon. Oh my gosh, so many good books. Okay. Next is Voice Like a Hyacinth. I can't say that word. This one comes out February 1st. Oh, that's my birthday, February 1st. This one sounds really great. I am not really a fan of this cover, I have to say. What do you guys think? Let me see if there's another edition. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of this cover. 5 young women eager for success rely on the unspeakable to make their dreams come true in a chilling novel about will and obsession. So this one caught my eye because it kind of had like Bunny vibes to me, because it's like a group of women and they're like interested in the occult and trying to get things that they want. I don't know, it just sounded interesting. Next one is another horror book that sounds good. This is Their Monstrous Hearts. This comes out in April. This is a haunting novel about the boundaries people will cross to keep their dreams alive. This one is about a young boy who finds out that his grandmother dies and has left her estate to him. So he goes back, and she has this famous butterfly collection, but it sounds like of course the estate is gothic, crumbling, decrepit. And it says he finds his grandmother's diary, which might hold the truth or the key to her mysterious death, or at least give him the inspiration he needs to finish his manuscript, but he might not survive long enough to write it. I don't know, I just thought this sounded kind of good. This is another horror book, but this one, it seems like a funny kind of horror book. This is called Bad Nature. This is what caught my eye. It says, armed with a terminal diagnosis, a grudge, and a rental car, Hester sets out to fulfill her lifelong dream of killing her father in this brilliantly subversive and bleakly funny novel. Does that not sound fun? It's actually not a horror. I thought it was a horror. At least on Goodreads, it's not marked as horror. It just says a literary fiction. I thought it was a little bit of a horror, but that sounds good. Next is The Incandescent by Emily Tesh. So this comes out in April. Okay, so this is another academia novel, which is why I was interested in it. Another dark academia novel. And it seems like it has a little bit of fantasy things going on, which I'm excited about. So it says Dr. Walden is the director of magic at Chetwood Academy and one of the most powerful magicians in England. Her responsibility to keep her school with its 600 students and centuries-old legacy safe. And it's possible the entity Walden most needs to keep her school safe from is herself. I don't know, this just sounds like it'll be a fun time. And like I said, any kind of school setting I always want to read, so there we go. And I do really like this cover. Next is Doll Parts. This one comes out in August, and this just sounds like a literary fiction, little suspense about the horrors of girlhood, which is another thing that I do love to read about. That's like all I needed to know. And it says for fans of Night Bitch, which is one of my favorite books last year, so I'm down to read it. We're almost done. 2 more books. The next one is called Carrion Crow by Heather Parry. This comes out in February. It is a historical horror book. Oh, this sounded so interesting. It says Carrion Crow is a transportive and gloriously gothic commentary on the constraints of polite society and the even greater danger of conformity that unfurls one family's festering secrets. Sounds good. Last one is called The Bookshop Below. We don't have a cover for this one yet. I'm very interested what this one's going to look like. This one, okay, just listen to how fun this sounds. It just says, in this extraordinary standalone, a disgraced bookseller is offered the chance to restore a magical bookshop to its former glory and enters a dark underworld of unscrupulous collectors, deadly ink magic, and shady societies. Doesn't that sound so good? Sounds so good. I hope they do it right, because that blurb sounds perfect. But yes, okay, those are the 25 books that I am super excited about. As you can see, I got really excited. The 25 books that I'm super excited about that are coming out next year. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you now have some new books added to your TBR. I'm very curious. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.